So first of all, I just wanted to say my roommate's not a bad guy. It just was a funny example. He actually does do the dishes from time to time, if you ask him to. So I'm worse sometimes. Sometimes I don't. No one's perfect, right? Anyway, so back to ecology. We're going to talk about ecology in layers, and so this is kind of organized in a weird way. I'm going to start at the smallest. So let's start at species. So a species is basically an organism that can, or it's a group of organisms rather, that can reproduce with each other and make fertile offspring. In other words, two members of the same species, so two of them together, they can make grandbabies. Meaning that not only can two members of the same species have a baby, but that baby can have a baby. So, for example, a tiger and a lion, they can have a baby, and they call that a liger. But that liger can't have a baby, and so that's not fertile offspring. So, in order to be a part of a species, your DNA must be similar enough with that same individual to have grandbabies. All right. And by the way, if you can only have a baby and not a grandbaby, you are a hybrid. Okay, so back to ecology. So a species can do that, and then a population is a group of one species, of a single species, of a species, a species. So just one. So if we're talking about populations, we might be talking about a group of rabbits. We have a population of rabbits on the eastern shore. We have a population of squirrels, a population of humans, of dogs. And don't forget, everyone forgets this one, we have a population of trees and plants too. They are also living things. They are also species. So we have many populations here. And then when you consider all of those populations together, populations that live in the same place, that is a community. Populations that live in the same place at the same time, that is a community. So, for example, our community here on the shore consists of dogs, cats, humans, squirrels, all sorts of aquatic organisms, trees, grass, birds, bees. Well, not many bees anymore, unfortunately, due to pesticides. But butterflies, the list goes on and on. So we have a community, and that is more than one species. And so the next layer of study in ecology is ecosystems. So in ecosystems, we consider living things and non-living things. So, for example, the ecosystem of my apartment, I don't just consider my roommate, but also his dishes and his laundry. Those are non-living things. Also, the air conditioning in my apartment, that is a non-living thing. Let's see. I have a house plant. That would be a living thing. I have dogs. That would be a living thing in my ecosystem. I have a cell phone, which would be an abiotic, non-living thing. So it is everything together. That is an ecosystem. And when we talk about ecosystems, we usually identify them as being a certain type of ecosystem by what's called the climax community. So we look at the plants. So for example, if I'm talking about a rainforest, I know it's a rainforest because I'm looking at the trees, but I also look at the climate. I look at like if there's a lot of rain. So I look at living things and non-living things together, especially the plants and the weather, to determine what ecosystem I'm in. And so then we have a bunch of ecosystems here on our planet, and then we group them together into biomes. So for example, rainforest ecosystems all belong to the rainforest biome. Deciduous forests all belong to the deciduous forest biome. there's a desert biome, there's a taiga biome, a tundra biome. These are all similarly these are all similar ecosystems found throughout our planet. Freshwater biome, which I guess would make, I forget what, marine biome would be saltwater biome. We have a lot of biomes. And together, all of those biomes, so this is why I said it was out of order, all of those biomes together, oops, that doesn't fit in the frame. There you go. All of those biomes together make the biosphere. Oops, what did I just do? Okay. Well, you get it. So we're talking, oh, geez. We're talking about biospheres. So a biosphere, I just went back into edit mode, ignore it. The biosphere is our planet. And so what makes a biosphere a biosphere? Well, I tried to press play. Go. So I'm in scribble mode, so I can't actually interact with my screen. Anyway, so a biosphere is a planet that has life, or a place on the planet that has life. So, for example, our biosphere is from the top of Mount Everest to the bottom of the Marianas Trench. We have life all throughout there. The Marianas Trench, by the way, is the lowest place on Earth. It is the deepest part of our oceans. And then Mount Everest, of course, is the highest mountain on Earth. So we have life from the top of that to the bottom of Marianas Trench. What you look for if you're trying to see, I can actually zoom in. If you're trying to see another planet, if you're an astronomer and you're looking for another planet that might have life on it, what you look for is water, methane, oxygen, and most importantly, something like a pigment, something like chlorophyll, which is green. And that's a pretty good indicator that there is another biosphere. There is statistically very likely to be some other planet out there that is also a biosphere. Right now we're thinking that perhaps it could be one of the moons of Saturn.